Welcome to this month's Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae. I want to take the time right now to thank all who sent cards and prayed for my recovery from my surgery in July. I am doing very well, and again, thank you for your hugs and your concern. Our guests later in the show are here to talk about the new transfer station regulations starting October 1st. So I hope you stay with us for that. Did you have a great summer? I bet a lot of you are looking forward to getting the kids off to school. And while I'm mentioning school, don't forget the Friends Thrift Shop if you're looking for a few things to get for school. At least our thrift shop won't put a dent in your budget, and our winter clothes will be in stock and ready to sift through by September 20th. We planned our $3 bags. Yes, $3 a bag. I almost said $3 a month sale, but $3 a bag sale for August 30th to September 10th. Closing it the following week to restock the shelves with winter clothes, and then we are off and running. So take the time to come in and see what we have. And remember, the money we make with our sales go to the Friends of the Council on Aging so that we may help our local senior community with programs and assistance. And speaking of assistance, I'm starting this program off with requests for donations, and what a terrible way to start, but important. The Littleton COA has been trying to raise money for a handicapped accessible van. The COA had a rather large donation from a Littleton resident, but more is needed to be able to go forward with the actual purchase. We have 2 vans at this time, and put them to use every day, bringing our seniors to and from appointments. But now it's time to add a van that can be wheelchair accessible. So if at all possible, please consider a donation towards this project. And make your checks out to Treasurer, Town of Littleton, and send to Town of Littleton, 37 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Mass. 01460. And the donation should specify that the purpose is for replacement of the COA van. The next request for a contribution is towards our Veterans Luncheon in November. The Friends of the Council on Aging sponsor this lunch for our local veterans each year. At least 75 to 100 people come to enjoy great food and conversation. And it's a time to compare stories about their time in the service. If you can help this tradition by even a small amount, we would greatly appreciate it. So send these checks to the Friends of the Council on Aging, P.O. Box 134, Littleton, Mass. 01460. Another way we can supplement our programs is through grants. We've been told that there are many we can use, but we need someone who is experienced in researching and writing grants. If you feel this is something you would like to do, please call Carolyn Sloboda at 978-540-2470 or come into the Council on Aging office, the second floor Town Office Building on Shattuck Street. We have more. But first, here's Gail Dalton with news from the Senior Diner.
Well, hello, Barbara. Welcome to the Senior Diner. Some people get confused when they come here because they actually don't know where to go, and they always go in the wrong door. But it's very easy to see right when you come off the parking lot. If you look directly to the right, there's a door right here that says Senior Diner. We have handicap access. You just push this button, and the door will open right up so wheelchairs can come in and everything. So this is where it is, and off the beautiful patio. And we had a lovely cookout here last week, and people were eating out on the patio. It was very nice. Of course, a very hot day by Senator Eldridge, and Representative Osiero came down, and we had a good 70 people here. It was wonderful. But now let's discuss the month of September. We have a lot of things going on in the month. Can't believe it's September. Labor Day, of course, September 6th will be closed. The ladies' breakfast will be September 9th. And I usually do the birthday the second Wednesday, but I'm going to be on vacation that week. So I want the birthday to be September 15th, the following Wednesday, okay? So if you get any invitations saying the 8th, it's really going to be September 15th, okay? And the men's breakfast will also be on September 15th. And they also have movies going on. Movies for September 13th will be Gray's Garden, and September 30th will be All Old Dogs, and we now have bingo, and bingo is really taking it's packed. I mean, there's like 20 people coming, and I would suggest you come. It's going to be on every Friday now. If you come early, come to lunch, you get your seat, because it's starting to pick up. More and more people are showing up, so I hope to see you all. Oh, and also, we're having a potluck on September 24th, okay? So come join us. The potluck has also been a great success. A lot of people come and everything and make wonderful food. So, and it's a chance to get together and hang out. So I hope to see you all in September.
Thanks, Gail. Why don't you check out the diner and then come to the second floor and treat yourself to a movie? This month, on September 13th, we are showing Grey Gardens. And on September 30th, join us for Old Dogs. John Travolta is starring in this movie, and I just love him. Maintaining good health is first and foremost when you age to senior status. It should start when we are very young, but try telling that to a teenager. What matters to our outreach coordinator, Tina Mader, is that she plans some programs here at the Council on Aging for seniors who want to stay healthy. One of her programs is the Living Alone group. It's a place to meet other seniors who live alone and would like to talk about their feelings on that subject. Each month, Tina invites a speaker who is of interest to those of you attending. The meeting this month will be on September 16th. The time is 10:30 to 11:30, and it's in room 230. And Tina will be at Pine Tree Park's Blood Pressure Clinic and Coffee Hour on Thursday, September 23rd, 10 a.m. to 11:30 at 19 Shattuck Street. But call Tina to let her know you'll attend on those dates. And her number, 978-540-2472. And we want to give our thanks to Springbrook Farm for the coupons they generously donated to our local seniors. Tina has those in her office. Caregivers are invited to the first support group this season on Thursday, September 2nd from 4 to 5 p.m. with Anne Marie Rouse from Senior Care Advisors. The group is a general support group for caregivers of seniors, so come join us, and that's September 2nd from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at the Littleton Council on Aging. Call Anne Marie Rouse at 978-456-3756 for further information. Dr. Alan Marks from Abbott Immunology will be here in room 230 on Monday, September 27th, with his program about better understanding the signs and symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, gout, and much more. And please call the Council on Aging office to sign up. You can mark your calendar early for October for the podiatry clinic on Tuesday, October 26th at 9:30 a.m. in room 233 at the Council on Aging. But you better call now to make your appointment because you could get very, very low on the list. And she probably can only do so many people. But call 978-540-2470. Louise Curley is here in room 230 on Tuesday, September 7th, and she's with her wellness clinic and taking blood pressures. Other blood pressure clinics are with Neshoba nurses, and they will be at the Senior Diner here on Shattuck Street on Tuesday, September 14th, and that's 11 until noon. You know, our clinics are there for you to use, so don't guess your blood pressure. Come in and check. If you want to lower your blood pressure, try a walk or try walking the paths at Prouty Woods. Pretty soon it'll be full of fall colors and you can really enjoy it. So meantime, let's hear from Lynn Lyford at the New England Forestry Foundation, Prouty Woods.
Thank you, Barbara. Today I'm going to talk about a new study that came out this spring because it's very exciting. The Harvard Forest got together with some 20 scientists around New England to figure out how much forest land needs to be conserved for all the benefits that forests provide: clean water, clean air, habitat for wildlife. And in this study, they came to the conclusion that we need to conserve 70% of the forested acres in New England. That's some 30 million acres. Most of the conservation in New England is done by the land trusts, many of them being local land trusts. And local land trusts do conservation projects very much one project at a time. So if we want to conserve 30 million acres, this is going to be very difficult unless we do something new. Because doing one land project at a time won't ever get to 30 million acres in any reasonable amount of time. So New England Forestry Foundation is pioneering a new paradigm for conservation, and we call it aggregation. The notion simply is to take the projects of individual land trusts and bundle them, bring them together to amass size and interest from funding sources that the individual land trust might never be able to attract. Also, it gets the land trust to thinking about how their individual project from an environmental perspective connects to the project of the land trust next door. It's a program that's getting a lot of excitement on the part of landowners. They like to be part of a big project. Our first step in aggregation is bringing together 7 land trusts. They're out in the Berkshires, and they have identified 10,344 acres. Those acres are comprised of 77 individual projects. So our Western Mass Aggregation Project, which we now have underway, seeks to find $21 million to protect the 10,344 acres. Big task, but we're on it. In addition, while we've got that project rolling, we're taking this concept of aggregation, and we've identified 15 targeted areas through New England, and we're going to land trusts in those 15 areas talking about aggregation so that they can start thinking and approaching individual landowners that might be interested in the same. Some of these areas are really running forward with this and have identified projects and landowners, so it's very possible some other aggregation packages may be coming forward soon. This is an exciting project. If you're interested to learn more about it, please call New England Forestry Foundation. We'd be glad to tell you about it. We are acting as the conservation intermediary, doing the fundraising, the promotion, and the coordination for these aggregation efforts. It's exciting, and we've got some 22 million of the 30 million acres to go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Why don't you come to the stretch and flex classes and the exercise with Phyllis classes to get those muscles moving to take that walk in the woods? Phyllis's class begins on September 7th, and stretch and flex will begin on September 14th. Peg Koskusek, president of the Littleton Senior Citizens Club, wants to welcome you to the first meeting for the club year. They will meet on Monday, September 20th at 1:30 at the Senior Diner. The theme this time is coffee and conversation and a time to review ideas for future meetings. Now, all seniors are welcome, so come and bring a friend. You know, I have a question for the senior club members. The Senior Citizens Club is quite an active group. Many seniors come to enjoy each other's company and speakers. Yet, when we try to bring programs to the Council on Aging, we find that seniors do not like to be associated with a Council on Aging. So, senior citizens, Council on Aging. We are all one and we're all the other. We've looked for names that would please the masses, but seniors still cannot be discarded. The name senior. What is the secret? And what can we give you that makes our Council on Aging a fun and interesting place to come and visit? I'm just curious. Indian Hill is a place the seniors like for its box lunch days, and here's Evan Theobalakis to bring you up to date.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, maybe it's getting cold out there, but it's pretty hot over here at Indian Hill as we start up our season with all kinds of great musical activities for everyone. And everything starts on Friday, September 10, with our Family Pajama Jam. This is a free musical story hour for young families, Friday, September 10, from 6:30 to 7:30. So come on down in your PJs to hear stories and play instruments and have a lot of fun. You can find out more online at indianhillmusic.org, or always give us a call at 486-9524. Also coming up for families and anyone else that likes fun stuff like this, we've got Steve Songs, the popular PBS kids singer, and his band, Steve Songs and his band, coming here to Indian Hill on Saturday, September 11th for 2 shows. And those are at 10:30 and 3:30 p.m. So you want to get tickets lined up to hear Mr. Steve, and those are $15 each, 486-9524. And also on September 11, we have our annual open house, and that goes from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at Indian Hill with instrument demos and all kinds of stuff going on for all ages. So the open house, also September 11, that's a free event. Come on down. Our box lunch faculty concert series starts up again on Thursday, September 16, with 2 shows at 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. and we are taking reservations for those now, 486-9524. And to open the series, we've got Spanish selections being played by pianist Heather Riley and her husband, guitarist Will Riley. So that ought to be a lot of fun on September 16th, the Thursday, box lunch. And you can always sign up now for fall music programs here at Indian Hill. Check us out, indianhillmusic.org. And Orchestra of Indian Hill tickets are all on sale, subscriptions and single tickets for the entire season. Lots of good stuff there too. So check us out, and I hope to see you here at Indian Hill in September.
Jot this date down, September 24th, because the Littleton Council on Aging has started its fall season with a trip to the Bourne Scallop Festival and Cape Cod Canal Cruise. You'll leave Shattuck Street at 9:30 a.m. First is a cruise on the Cape Canal. Then it's the Bourne Scallop Festival, where you enjoy a meal and the show of arts, crafts, and entertainment. The cost is $59 per person, but it must be paid by September 17th at the COA office. St. Vincent de Paul St. Anne Conference will be the beneficiary of this year's St. Anne Parish's annual golf tournament, which is in its 7th year. This golf tournament will be held on Friday, September 17th at Westminster Country Club in Westminster, Mass. Check-in time is 8 o'clock in the morning and playing begins at 9. Spouses, parishioners, and friends are invited to join the golfers at 2:30 for dinner, awards, and raffles. The following tournament sponsorships are still available. $100 for a tee or green sponsorship, and $500 for a tournament sponsorship. There is still room for more golfers, singles, pairs, and foursomes. The fee of $125 includes golf, a cart, and a full meal. If you're only going to dinner, it's $30. Raffle prizes include first prize, a $850 LG 42-inch full HD LCD TV, and it's donated from New England Theater in Nashua, New Hampshire. Second prize, a Bose Wave radio, valued at $500. And third prize is a $100 gift certificate to Jay's at Neshoba Winery in Bolton. But for more information or to register, call 978-486-4100 and speak to John, or go online to www.rcnet/Boston/St. Anne/ and click on 2010 Golf Tournament Brochure. Now, before we get to our guests today, I would like to mention that in September, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Diane Bemis, will be retiring. There is a party being planned as we speak, and we'd like to invite all who would like to attend. So join the party on September 30th at the Boxborough Holiday Inn Hotel. Cocktails are at 6:30 p.m. Dinner at 7:30. The cost, $37 per person, and it'll be a cash bar. Check, cash, or credit card will go to Treasurer, Town of Littleton, and then send it to Town of Littleton, care of Park and Recreation Department, Box 934, Littleton, Mass. 01460. Or you can call Park and Rec at 978-540-2490 to register and make payments. Now, we are accepting donations towards the Dr. Diane Bemis Scholarship Fund, and it's to be paid to a Littleton graduate who is majoring in education. We hope you all will attend to say goodbye to this very special lady. Now, let's join our guests, Selectwoman Janet Wilkinson and Selectman Jim Karr. And in the meantime, don't forget to hug a senior. On October 1st, there will be some changes coming to our Littleton transfer station, and it's going to be called Pay As You Throw. Some of you have paid attention and some of you haven't. So Bob Spinozzi and I decided we'd get together with people in the know and pass the word on to you. Today, Bob and I are here with Selectwoman Janet Wilkinson and Selectman James Karr, and we're hoping that we can help clear up some of your concerns. So welcome to our show.
Thanks for having us.
I'm not so sure that I understand what's going on and how the system will work, but I'm not even sure if I appreciate it. But maybe you can help me out and you can tell us more about it. How did you come to this decision that you've made?
Well, we had a committee that came together and studied this, and it's actually been concern for the town over the past couple of years, and a couple of citizens in particular were very concerned about our recycling. There also are state regulations that require recycling, which people are unaware of, that technically you're not supposed to throw cardboard in trash or plastic in trash or bottles in trash. So some people have not been in compliance. It hasn't been enforced, but it's something that the town needs to pay attention to. So we got together as a committee and decided to take a look at this and did a survey and came up with the conclusion that some people wanted change and that we would go forward with that.
Well, you know, so it will benefit our town.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and the recycling thing, Janet, that you're talking about is a fantastic silver lining. I've talked to so many people, maybe not so many, but a bunch of people, and I've asked them, do you recycle? And I've got a lot of responses just saying, no, we just throw everything in the bag, just get rid of it.
There's one other big piece, too, that, you know, we as town officials hear all the time is, my taxes keep going up. What can we do about lowering our taxes? You know, the economy's not doing too good. You know, how can you help us save some money? And one issue has always been, how can we spend so much money at the dump? For $300 a year, and the seniors at $70 a year, you know, is there anything that can be done to try and save money for the townspeople? As Janet mentioned, we had a committee get together and we started to focus, along with DEP and other surrounding towns, in other towns within the Commonwealth, on all boundaries, to see what they were doing. And pay-as-you-throw seems to be the process. I believe over 300 towns are doing that.
No, over 133.
133, actually. 133 or
right.
37, 38%, if my math is right, of the whole Commonwealth.
Right,
Towns in
that's
the
right.
Commonwealth, rather.
Yes.
Are doing it.
So that was the gist of us getting together, is we were hearing, you know, save us some money, you know. We don't want our taxes going up, and we feel, the townspeople came to the selectmen and said, we're paying too much money for the dump sticker. What can you do about it? That was the gist
Right.
of getting us going.
Yeah, and the expectation was that the dump sticker would continue to go up every year. That it's $300 this year, and next year it could have been, $320. And so we really needed to start looking at that cost and how could we even it out for people, because some people, especially those with only 2 people in their household, are paying the same price that someone with a family of 5 would be paying.
Right.
So this would make it more equitable across the town and for the population.
And of course, as seniors, are we seniors? I think we are. We don't have that.
No, you are.
We don't have that concern. But seriously, I mean, the fees were they weren't increasing exponentially, but they were getting ridiculous.
Right.
That's right.
So, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, so, yeah. Well, we were wondering, we knew that 130 some odd towns were using this too, and we were just wondering what other options that they were using. And I guess that you had a consultant looking into this, and
Well, we had the Department of Environmental Protection helping us with this, and she is the person, Irene Congdon, who's been in charge of making this changeover with many of the towns in the surrounding area. And either the towns are going to a pay-as-you-throw system, or some towns are going to the point where they're not offering any trash disposal. So we're really, pay-as-you-throw seems to be in the middle. Some towns are saying, we're not going to do anything. If you want trash picked up, you call Waste Management or someone to come, BFI, to come get it. The other extreme would be having the town increase your taxes to have it picked up at curbside. So we're thinking, well, we don't really want to increase taxes, because that's certainly what we've heard. We don't want to go to the extreme where everybody has to call and have it picked up privately, which would be very expensive.
Right.
So we're sort of coming into the middle here with pay-as-you-throw as a compromise from either extreme.
well, it must have been hard for you to try to get together and get something going so that, you didn't have us coming to you and saying, what, you're raising our taxes again? Yeah, because we hear it too.
Sure, change is difficult for anybody.
Right.
No matter what we do, change is difficult. It's human nature.
Right.
And until we get into the gist of pay-as-you-throw, and people get used to a new system that we feel will be beneficial and save majority of the households money, and get into that system and that routine, I feel that, people will buy into it. And I believe that once people see this moving forward, everything's not going to be perfect. We're going to have our issues. And no one has ever claimed that we're not going to have issues. We will have issues. We recognize that.
Right.
The staff know down there. The highway superintendent realized that. The town administrator knows that. The Board of Selectmen know that. But we're asking that, bear with us and let's work through these issues, because there isn't anything that's not overwhelming that we can't deal with. I remember back when the dump used to be the dump.
Yeah.
And then it started as the transfer station. And that was huge. And everybody was up in arms because they thought, how is this going to work? We don't know what to do anymore. We're used to just going back in the vehicle up and just dumping our trash into a landfill.
Right.
And then we went to this transfer station.
Right.
And everybody said, well, that doesn't work too bad. Then we got into recycling, and we opened up the recycling shack. And people said, wow, that's not too bad. And again, the process, that first initial shock of change was, oh no, what's going to happen? This isn't going to work. And then once we started into it, people got used to the flow.
Yeah. And, as Janet brought up, the 133 other towns that are in this program that's called SMART program, as it's dubbed. Some of the towns by us, Harvard has that system, Air has that system, Bolton, Pepperell, Dunstable. Now you talk about the trash pickup being folded up in your tax base. There are a whole bunch of towns around us that have curbside pickup, but again, that's fee is put into your tax base. Clinton, Maynard, Chelmsford, Concord, Westford were the towns that I looked up that I saw that they have private contractors coming to do that.
Right, to do the curbside pickup, if we wanted to add it to our tax base, since it's not in there now, we would have to go before town meeting and ask for an override of Proposition 2.5 to have the money necessary to start a program like that, because you need a huge amount of money available in order to create a contract with Waste Management or BFI to come and pick up for the entire town.
Right.
So that would be added to the tax base, which this is not. This is all everyone pays as you go. So it would be an added burden.
And an example of that is, I pay my electric bill based on what I use.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
I feel that I'm going to pay for my trash based on what I throw away. So if I don't recycle and I don't really pay attention to what I'm throwing away, I'm going to pay more.
Yeah.
That's my choice. If I want to save, I'm going to save.
Yeah.
So, and the change, I know everyone's concerned about change, but in reality, right now, everyone goes once a year, presumably, to the dump and gets their sticker. And last year, for most people, it cost $300. This year, it will cost $100. For seniors, it was $70 last year. The sticker will be $30 this year. Then, presumably, what everyone did is at home would probably have a trash bag. You go and buy hefty bags or whatever at the grocery store and put your trash in and take it there and recycle whatever. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to a local store, and instead of buying your hefty bag, you're going to buy a purple Littleton bag.
Okay.
So the reality is you're still buying your sticker for much less money, and you're buying bags, just a different color, not the white or black you might be using, but the purple ones that Littleton will have around town. And then you're still going to put your trash in the bags, and you'll take your recyclables separately and put them to be recycled if that's what you're currently doing. So it's not a huge change for people.
Yeah, it won't be a huge change for
No.
some people who
Right.
are recycling all the time.
Right.
And they'll probably find it a lot easier, and then it'll be the ones that have to, again, accept change
Right.
and learn a new thing. And maybe they will, feel that they're doing something better,
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And to build upon what Janet was saying, right now I pay $300 for my sticker. Recycling is free when I pay my $300. I'm going to spend $100 on my sticker. Recycling is free.
Yeah.
There you
Nothing
go.
changes.
That's right.
There you go.
Nothing changes.
See, these things have to be explained, like right now, because you do find that some people have a whole different view of what's going to happen.
Right.
And it doesn't sound like what you're saying.
Right.
You know? Because sometimes they don't read what's in the paper, and sometimes they don't watch our show.
How could that be?
Hopefully this time. And, or don't talk to the right people either.
Yeah.
And so they have a whole different idea about what's going to happen. I see them think, like, for instance, even I thought for a while there that I'd need 4 or 5 different containers at home. And I talked to someone who said they have this system in their town. They aren't from Littleton, and they put everything in one bag, and then when they're ready to go to the trash, they recycle from that bag so that
that's a good way to do it.
they don't have 5 different containers in their house.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good.
One bag, I throw everything in it, and then I just walk around the recycling, put my cans in one, the bottles, and I separate the milk jugs and the 2s and 4s, and now it's going to be up through 7.
Right. Everything 1 through 7 for all
1
plastic
through
will
7
be
for
taken
all
now.
through plastic.
And they can find that right on the bottom of the bottle, right?
Right. Yeah. It
They're
has to be in a
located-
triangle on the
Correct.
bottom.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it
there
will
it
be
is.
a triangle with a number 1 through 7. Those are what will be accepted at the transfer station. If you have plastic with no number, that goes in your purple trash bag.
Okay.
So you look for those number 1s through 7, and those can be recycled at the transfer station.
Yeah.
So that's important. And glass can all be
Make sure they're-
recycled, and cardboard can be recycled, and newspapers and
Cans, aluminum cans.
yeah, that you have your soup
All your
in. All of
cans.
those cans can be recycled.
And at the transfer station, you have your returnable shed where all your returnables go. We have the Boy Scouts down there, the Girl Scouts, Littleton Youth Baseball. So all these organizations within our town and our community go down there, and you give your 5 cents up, and it's going to a great cause. So that helps out a lot of groups in town.
Yeah, to have to get the
Now these bags,
Council.
Council on Aging, I'm sure that can be set up through Jim Clyde.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Because there are a lot of folks vying for that, because it's quite a bit of money.
I had someone come to me and ask, would you please find out about it?
Sure,
Yeah.
and there's a schedule that's set up as to who's going to be, manning that and dealing with, and they'll teach you how to do it and what to do, and
Yeah, and maybe
It's a
if
great
the
program.
it's a great
seniors-
program.
is.
I know
maybe if-
Janet's involved in the library. The library
Friends of
was
the
there.
Library does it,
Friends of the Library were down there this weekend.
Yeah.
See?
We get hundreds of dollars from it.
Uh-oh, I got to get my friends of
Oh,
the
you
council out
absolutely
there.
do. I mean, it's a worthwhile project.
Not that
certainly is.
I'm greedy or anything, but Oh, gosh. Well, we understand that, there was a survey put out there a few months ago and everything. And so how do you feel that went?
Well, we didn't have as many responses as we would have liked, a couple of hundred, I believe, out of 3,000, more than 3,000 households. So we did get response, and people were interested in continuing to have a transfer station, because that was part of our question. Did we want to get rid of the transfer station and do nothing, or have curbside? And most of the people wanted to continue with the transfer station. And so we decided to do away with the curbside notion and focus then on what would we do at the transfer station. And then the reality, of course, of needing to recycle and the state requirements that we recycle and encouraging that, it will bring our costs down overall, we think, for the transfer station eventually as people recycle.
Okay, well, we were at the transfer station recently, and we asked a few people what they had to say about what was going to happen.
People in the town are pretty conscientious about what goes on, and I think they're doing the best they can right now. And I don't know, to charge more money, a lot of people can't afford it, especially senior citizens. And so I say leave it the way it is.
I'm glad they're doing it, because I think in the long run it's going to save people money, and it's just better all around for everybody, I think.
I'm ambivalent. I mean, I'm not sure which is the most cost effective. I separate things out, so I know, my understanding is if everybody did that, it would be okay. And so I'm happy with that. But if everybody's not doing that, I would much prefer to do it the way we're doing it, but...
I responded to the website inquiry, and I said, how can we answer this, because you're not giving us how much it's going to cost? And so it came as a complete surprise. It seems to me that, at least for us, that in the long run it's going to cost more, but it is what it is.
There was another opportunity you could vote for. You could vote for having them pick it up, and maybe I have to pay a little more, but that would be all right.
I think it's all right. I mean, people would just, maybe hopefully they'll recycle more, and it'll realize, like, just rather than throw out stuff that they could recycle, it could help them put it into the recycling bin and hopefully help the planet. So,
well, I think that forcing the residents to buy bags on a recycling area that works is just another revenue source. Now, they may not believe it is, but somebody is profiting from it, because right now this is working. So why do we need bags? I mean, we have to bring our recyclables to the transfer station here. So, I mean, I can understand if it was pickup, overflow bags would be one thing, but we have to come here. So if people have pickup, then maybe they should have to use the bags. If we're coming here on our own, we shouldn't have to buy bags.
I'm against it because I don't, people pay for a dump sticker every 6 months or for a year, and then they have to buy their own bags to come and dump their trash. That's just totally ridiculous. It's just a town looking for more money.
I don't agree with it either, because we have to pay a set amount, and my mother's elderly, and that they even have to pay anything extra. I think a lot of people are going to try to do trash pickup. I don't think they're going to like it.
I don't know what the survey was for. That was a waste of my time. Apparently it doesn't count. The choice. I guess maybe there wasn't enough votes, but I put mine in, and I wanted to keep it the way it was. We'll see what happens.
I'll pay and I'll throw. I'm in favor of that.
Well, I can understand the idea, the concept behind it, to try and even out paying for something more commensurate with what you're disposing. I come here with bags of trash, and yet I see trucks pull in here and offload, the whole back end of a truck full of stuff for the same amount of money. On the other hand, I do have some concerns about it. They have not yet been able to answer what happens with the stuff that you bring that's too bulky to put in a bag, but yet is too small to put in the bulk bin. Things like if you're cleaning out your cellar or your attic, or big bulky bags of lawn fertilizer and lawn seed, stuff like that. You can't fit that in a little 35-gallon bag. I'm sorry, it won't fit. No one's been able to tell me what the plans are on that.
I work at a horse stables, so we get a lot of bags, so that wouldn't be great for us. You know what I mean? Because we have so much garbage that it would probably make us pay more than we pay right now.
I think it's probably going to be a big pain in the butt. I mean, I already recycle pretty much as I can. You know, I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do that, or if I'm going to switch to waste management or one of those. So
I just think it's going to just cause more and more plastic bags to end up in the landfill. We want to get rid of a lot of the plastic. And I do think it's going to cost a lot more in the long run.
I think it's a very poor idea. It hasn't been researched that much from the people that's affected by it. I think it's through a hardship on people. If we're restricted as senior citizens, there'll be rodents all over our property. If we have to wait until we get 2 bags full of things to put in the dump. I mean, it's very poor planning. There was a lot of people were outspoken about it at the selectmen's meeting when it was approved. There should have been more research done with it, and I just think it's a terrible idea. And I haven't spoken to anyone in town that agrees with what's happening. They're very, very disappointed.
I'm furious about the trash program. I'm very upset that they didn't take a vote from the people, and they just made the decision, and they didn't ask us first.
Did you have any thoughts on any of those comments?
Well, I think a common theme was people feeling as if this is going to cost them more money, and that this is a revenue-generating deal for the town. This is not a revenue-generating deal for the town. The town is looking just to break even for the cost of running a transfer station, and to make it more equitable for those that bring an exorbitant amount of trash in, okay, that may have, 4 households being brought on one Saturday instead of just one household under one sticker for $300. It's a good way to make it fair and equitable for everyone. So it's not going to cost you more money. Hopefully it's going to save you money. Our objective here is to save a majority of the households, the money from the $300 by only charging the $100 a year for a sticker, having the free recyclables, and being able to still throw away whatever you want to be able to throw away. So,
Yeah, and I think you could hear a little bit of the fear of the unknown. Change can be very intimidating to some people, and it just takes a little time to get used to, that's all.
Yeah.
And it's really a choice for the people. If you really don't want to recycle very much, then you just buy more bags. You get to decide. Do you want to just continue as you are and get your sticker and buy the purple bags instead of your white or black bags? Fine, you can just continue as you are. But if you do want to make a change and try to save some money, that's what my family's been doing over the last couple of months. Knowing this was coming, we decided consciously, let's try to recycle as much as we can and see how much we can actually save. And for our family of 4, we've ended up having probably 2 kitchen-sized trash bags, which I guess are about the 15-gallon bags, per week. So I estimate then, instead of it being $300 or more for our family, it's going to be about $200, $210 a year. So we're going to save money because we're willing to, throw away the plastics and the paper and the tin cans and the glass separately, and it will save us a lot of money.
and I think you heard one of the folks in your tape say, I may have to go to BFI or have it picked up.
Right.
Well, that's okay. That's your choice.
Right.
And we're not forcing anybody in this town to pay as you throw. You have the ability to call up any trash hauler and get prices and see if you can beat the $100 sticker and the $2 for the bag. That's your prerogative. By all means, try it. So, you can always do that. You can opt in or you can opt out.
Yeah, no,
Your choice.
I've never priced it out myself personally, but we have people on my street who private contracted.
We do too.
Haven't picked up
We do
privately.
too. But you know, I'm thinking about what you just said, and it would be, yeah, go ahead and, if you feel that strongly, then go ahead and try it, and then, but also try this one just to see what the balance is.
Sure.
And see if you're happier with what, you know, what's going on. But then, if you're happier with what's going on here, pass the word.
Yes, right.
Sure,
Let people
absolutely.
know. Right, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you think about it, it's better for our environment that we're doing this because the plastics, for instance, and the glass and the paper all get recycled and reused. So,
Yeah.
you know, the plastic water bottle you're using today will become the plastic water bottle of tomorrow rather than just sitting there somewhere in the landfill.
Right.
So it's certainly better for our environment. And as the prices rise again on all these recyclable materials, the town could, you know, lower the prices eventually of running the transfer station. So the more we recycle, the better it is for the town and for the residents.
The more, just to again pick up on what Janet was saying, the more efficient this town gets, the better off we all are. And that's you know, true with the recycling. So we can join up with other towns around us to try and, they're going through the same issues. We're not the only one town in the state that are going through this right now.
Right.
You know,
That's
and you know, there's a lot going on out there, and I think now's the time to get involved in recycling.
Yeah. Then maybe we'll be able to see what they are making from all these recyclables.
That's right.
You know, I mean...
I have Trex decks on my mother's
house?
little
Oh, yeah?
on my mother's deck, and the Trex is made from all recycled paper and plastics, and the railings that you see, the railing systems that you see at Home Depot, they're all recycled stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what about the layout of the way the transfer station is now compared to what it might look like? Because we were talking to some people there, and they said, you know, it's going to take a while and we might need more containers. So do you think that'll happen?
It's already happened.
It did?
Yes, Jim Clyde has already rearranged it a bit, and it added a new container for plastics and relocated the bulk items to a different location. So things are already changing.
Wow.
So we're going to, you know, try to make it as efficient as possible, and certainly look to get some feedback from people about how it is. But we want to allow people to go in and empty their trash and do their recyclables and get in and out as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we were curious about that.
Yeah.
We just thought, well, you know...
And as recycling goes up, trash goes down, we may have the ability, we have 4 compactors, I believe, down there right now. Maybe take one of those compactors and use it for recycling.
Right.
Or put a recycling, you know, that gives us more ability to change for the flow. You know, there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going to have less volume of trash going in there.
Right.
That's what we're hoping.
Sense in the world.
Exactly.
That's what we're hoping.
Right.
I imagine it'll take a while.
Yes.
I mean, you know, things do take time. So that's another thing we need to tell everyone, not to be nervous and not to get excited about it. It's going to take a week or a month, because it's possible it could take a whole year or so to get it straightened out and figure out what is going on.
There will be bugs. There will be issues, folks. And the best way to react to those issues is bring it to the attention to either send an email to the town offices at Keith Bergman, talk to the folks that work down the transfer station, or you can go right to Town Hall and talk to the Selectman's office also.
Right, and there's also more information on the Littleton Town website, giving great detail about what needs to be done and all the information on the bags and where you'll be able to buy them.
So then people who go on the website shouldn't be asking us what to do, right? They can read it right there.
It should all be there.
There's a few things that we're doing to educate the townspeople. We're going to have 2 mailings.
Okay.
One, you're going to see a 5 by 8.5 piece of paper, and it gives you general information about pay-as-you-throw. The cost of the bags, the size of the bags, the cost of the stickers, and on the other side, you can see what's being recycled, what we take, the website of the town, and some other information where you can buy the bags. Come October 1st. We're also going to have a mailing go out with the electric bills in September.
Good.
And try and educate everybody there. We're going to have those pamphlets you're going to get in your electric bill. They'll also be available down at the transfer station. So if folks have questions, the folks down there can give you something to read. And all this information is on www.littletonma.org. That's the website for the town. You'll see a big red box there that says Pay As You Throw. Click on that, and that'll explain everything to folks. We know that there's folks out there that don't go on the internet, so we're going to try and educate them through U.S. Postal Service.
Okay. Well, tell us where we'll be able to buy these bags. Are they all set? I mean,
it's not all set yet. Unfortunately, a lot of people are on vacation, but our expectation is Donlands and Agway and Aubuchon and Shaw's and Groton and Little Peach are now Tedeschi's and Common Convenience. So that's our expectation of about where you'll find them.
Can't get them at the transfer station?
No. And the reason for that is because then the town, again, would have this issue of where does the money come from to buy them up front? So now the stores are handling that. They're buying them at cost and selling them. The stores aren't making any money, unfortunately for them, on this. They're being very cooperative and helpful to the town, but they don't make any money or profit on this. They sell them at cost.
Okay.
So, I mean, the benefit to the store, obviously, is I got to go to Donald's to pick up some trash bags. I need a gallon of milk. I need to get some, some bread.
Yeah.
So they're benefiting from that piece of it. But all the bags are bought by these stores, and as Janet said, they don't make any money. It's just a transfer to the town. So.
No, on the recycling, was a single stream recycling ever considered or brought up?
We considered that actually early on in our conversations, but it wasn't available to the town. The companies that were available to do that were costing us a lot more money. So right now that hadn't been refined enough in this area. Other parts of the state are doing single stream. But for us right now it was too expensive, but we will consider that in the future.
And again, the way we're recycling right now is beneficial to the town because we're hoping to sell that product.
Right.
And a separated product is worth more money than just one dumpster full of everything. Because now someone literally has to go through, take the ones out, take the twos out, take the threes out. So, that's convenience-wise, yes, easy.
Yeah.
Cost-wise, to keep our costs down, the way we're proposing and we're going to do it is beneficial to us to keep the prices down. And that's our objective here. We want to keep the cost of the townspeople as low as we can.
Good. I'm sure that if they're watching, they're happy to hear that. We are, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I guess that what's going to happen is it's official October 1st, right?
Correct.
And actually starts the 2nd?
Yes, Saturday the 2nd. And there will
Are there going to be banners and flags and
yes, and there will be people there helping. And so when you get your stickers, and presumably before that you'll get a little brochure that tells you what needs to be done, and there will be people helping on October 2nd.
Oh, good. Yeah, I guess that, this will remind people who don't read the paper and don't watch, the shows, that something's happening and this is what they need to do. So what if somebody that day, really someone doesn't know a thing about it? What will happen to their bag?
Donald's will be open, Agway will be open.
Go back.
Little Peach will be open. So we're hoping that that's a minimal.
Yeah,
that's minimal.
It probably won't
we're
happen.
trying,
It's just,
and again, change is difficult, and it's gonna take a week or two to get in that flow of things. We're hoping to have the bags in the very near future out to these places so that you can buy ahead.
Just from a financial point of view, now the town has been subsidizing trash pickup all these years to some extent.
The town is, through the people paying for the stickers, that is what supports the transfer station.
It has been supporting the transfer station totally?
Yes.
Well, we do subsidize, the townspeople have been subsidizing stickers for seniors.
That's true, for seniors,
so
right.
we have been subsidizing. If it were...
but that's through this payment of the $300 stickers,
that's right. So,
there's nothing from the taxes that comes off to cover the transfer station. That's what you're asking.
Right, so...
That is what I was asking.
Okay.
Right, we are subsidizing for the seniors. We know fixed income, you know, folks that are on fixed income, we need to keep those costs even lower.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to.
Thank you.
Trying to.
And I'm not talking about being unfixed, but I know so many people.
Sure.
And it's important. It
is.
really is important.
It really is. And to that point, the seniors, we understand that seniors, they like to go to the transfer station. It's a thing to do.
Right.
Okay, it's part of their routine. And one thing we're doing unique other than the other towns are, we're going to have a real small bag. It's going to be a 8.5 gallon, I believe it is.
Right.
Yeah, 8.5 gallon.
Okay.
And one roll is going to cost $3.75. Okay? And what that's going to enable the seniors to do is really have a small bag, so I'm not buying a big bag for a little bit of trash.
Okay.
And a lot of towns don't do that.
Wow.
So we're trying to do that for our seniors to be able to say, you know, I like to go to the transfer station once a week, twice a week, whatever it may be. Maybe go for the trash one day, recycling the next, but have the ability to have a real small bag.
Good.
Right, and that'll only be about 75 cents a piece. So with the $30 sticker, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that isn't. Yeah. And I imagine that day you will have some people saying, like you saw in our little interview there, that they maybe are going to tell you they don't like it or they like it, but that's expected too. And it's good for you to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you to know.
Absolutely.
Are you going to keep the swap shop?
Yes.
Yes.
You like
Talk about recycling,
Yes.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've been a big recycler as far as household stuff is, all our married life. And I know so many people that go there, and I try to stay away. I stay away now because I've married too long to go there and get things, but I know so many people that go and they really enjoy it. They do enjoy it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I leave things there frequently, especially when you have young children and the toys that, you know, are sit on the shelf and you take them down.
But all those other components will stay the same.
Everything else is
the
the
metal
same.
will drop off.
Yes,
You
all
know,
of that's the same.
the thing that's going to change is the process.
Yeah.
Okay? Everything else is going to stay the same. We need to, the process, the way in which people think about trash is going to change. You know, and hopefully for the better, and hopefully cheaper.
Yeah.
So
hopefully,
you know, that's the major thing that's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Yes, it certainly will be cheaper for those people who choose to recycle. Definitely. It will be cheaper. For those people who choose not to, or who have very large families, it might be about the same price or maybe a little bit more, depending on their circumstances. But certainly for those people, who, as I have found myself over the last 2 months, by recycling, it's going to be definitely cheaper for our family.
Yeah, well, we went from 2 people to 5 because our daughter moved in with her 2 children. So our trash it really grew, you know.
Sure.
And, again, you buy toys, and they've got boxes and all kinds of things, you know, that
Packaging, I mean,
the
obviously,
food for school and the
obviously that Christmas period where, you know,
Wrapping
the
paper,
influx of
yeah.
everything, there's going to be a lot of trash. You know?
But so much of that is recyclable.
But look at what you're throwing away, exactly.
Right.
Look at what you're throwing away. What can be recycled? Can all that cardboard, is that all going into that bag? Are we recycling that? We don't do anything with styrofoam right now, so styrofoam will go in the purple bag and get thrown away. What would you have done otherwise? You would have put it in your trash bag and throw it away.
Right.
Well, anything else?
Any final thoughts? Or?
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I've been challenging myself over the last couple of months, and I'm excited about it because I'm, first of all, a Yankee who likes to save money, so I see an opportunity to save money.
Right.
And I also think just environmentally it's going to be better for the town and for, you know, the country to be recycling and reusing things. And I come from a long line of recyclers, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, good.
Next week I'm dropping my 2 boys off to school. So any way I can save money to help me out, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So in regards to saving, whether it's $5 a year, $10 a year, $100 a year, I need it, I'll do it, and I think everybody else will benefit also if they go along with the program.
Well, we'll be looking forward to it beginning and hoping that people, you know, find their way with it and feel that it's worth it.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
Don't
We're
be
available.
afraid to ask questions.
Exactly.
You know, some of the selectmen's office is staffed Monday through Friday. You'll get the mailings. You can go to the website. A lot of folks in town are internet savvy,
Yeah.
and they can go to the website and read all the information. There's a ton of information out there. We had our two public hearings, and folks showed up, and so there's a lot of information out there. Not too hard to find, but if you want to find it, it's there.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming.
Well, thank you.
And hopefully we did some good here. I
Yes.
mean, you know, maybe people will understand or at least try.
Right.
Education is key.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it's about trash or
Well, we'll
English
be
or
looking for, we'll be
math.
there October 2nd.
I'm sure you will.
With our little purple bags.
Yes, indeed.
So,
Hey, and you know what? Our fees are still low.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so bad being a senior once in a while. Okay, well, thanks again, and
Thank you both.
we'll be
Thank
seeing
you.
you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara, and this is
What we try to strive for is to have a transfer station that doesn't cost the taxpayers. There's your pause.
Why do you hate me?
thank you, Barbara. It's a pleasure to meet.
This golf tournament will be held on Friday, September 17th at Westminster. I'm going to have to start that over. I got tongue-tied.
Right now, we don't get as much money as we would like from recyclables because of the economy, but that should
Yeah.
turn around again, and we will be getting more recyclable money. I mean, money from recyclables.
More
Stop. Lights out.
Wow. It's just all these personalities out
Right.
here.
4 big personalities.